Welcome, welcome, welcome. I still can't get over last week's episode.
I know, right?
I'm still excited about that. Talking to Bill was one of the coolest things we've done.
Yeah, hands down. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
And he was so down to earth and so real.
Yes.
He did. And I mean, hey, can I tell another Rocky story?
Oh.
Bill, stop asking. Just tell.
Yeah, just talk.
Oh, man. He was
That
awesome.
was so awesome. It's like having remember, you'll sing the fly on the wall.
Yeah.
It's kind of having that perspective, you're being the fly on the wall.
It kind of was,
back in the
because,
day.
I mean, he was there for, like I said, he grew up with it, His dad made all the movies, and
he
was there. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to have him on again for a part 2.
He was a lot of fun.
Too good to wrap up in one episode.
Oh, yeah. Bill, you were a lot of fun, and we're definitely looking forward to having you coming back and hearing more of your stories and
would love to.
Picking your brain, because I know I have thought of some more questions, and I'm sure Tony has as well.
Yeah.
So
I just want to let him run. I just want to let him
know. I have one question. I'll wait, to share that. But
wait. Yeah.
You and I talked about it, that one question that I have. Is there like a burning, is the world going to explode type thing? But it's just, inquiring minds.
At some point, we will have him back on. I mean, obviously not anytime soon.
Right.
We'll wait a little bit, but we will definitely have him back on. I mean, he's
right.
Back on,
looking forward to it.
So, maybe, 5 or 6 months or 3 or 4 months. We'll bring him back to share some more. But that was awesome. That was very, very cool. Absolutely. So what else we got going on? We have this episode. We got Mr. John J. Rambo.
Yes, we
coming
do.
Up.
What have you been doing?
Working.
Yeah.
Working.
Me too. Yeah.
We got a surprise coming up for everybody towards the end of the month. We won't get into that yet, but we've been. Hey, I think we've held up our end of the bargain with surprises.
Oh yeah, but let's keep them coming if we can.
Yeah, we said they were going to be surprises, and there was. I mean, so we had, John and Robert and Raymond and now Bill. But we have some more surprises coming your way towards the end of March that I know everybody's going to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but until then, we're going to discuss Rambo. We're going to discuss the film saga. We're going to discuss the merchandise at the Sly Stallone Shop. We're going to discuss Rambo there.
There you
go. We'll just talk about that. So, without any further ado, I guess might as well just jump right in it. We'll talk about the first one. So, First Blood. First Blood. That was a book before a film. And a pretty successful book from what I've read, from what I heard. I have not read it, and I kick myself in the butt because I've been saying I'm going to read it, and I just keep saying I'm going to read it, and I don't. But I do know there have been differences from the book to the film.
I was going to say I've heard there's differences, and it's darker.
Yes. Did you read it?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. No.
I mean, I think it's no secret for well, do you know the differences, or should we not talk about it?
No, we can talk about it. I mean, the movies. It didn't come out last week.
No, but I mean, if somebody still wants to read the book and not know what's going on,
well, how about this disclaimer? If you want to read, mute now.
Yeah, come back next week.
Yeah,
and skip over us. Like I said, I haven't read it. I can only talk about the one scene I know, which was drastically different than the film, was the ending,
right?
Where he's talking to Troutman, about being back in the war and his buddies, and he got the legs blown off and all that stuff. And but in the book, from what I understand, he committed suicide.
Right.
So, and I thank God, obviously they didn't do that in the film.
Oh yeah. Well, I had heard, and I'm sure you heard the same thing, and many of you maybe have heard the same thing as well, is a couple things. The thing with the box, blowing off the leg, and the way he was talking in that scene is that he was trying to emulate how the soldiers who had come back, their thought patterns weren't so clear. So he was just kind of talking all over the place. But that
Right.
real stories from real soldiers, you know, just the confusion of the way that they were taught,
Right.
that they talked and he brought to the screen was like a truism,
Yeah.
of how
Yeah.
that happened.
Well, supposedly he, if we ever have him on the show, we could confirm. Which that's the ultimate goal, guys. We will
Yes, it is.
keep
Yes, it
moving
is.
forward until we get him.
Yeah.
But from what I heard, he was the one that changed it in the film, saying that you can't have him kill himself. Too
Right.
many of these guys are coming home and they're a mess and they're killing themselves. We have to show them that you don't have to do that.
Right.
There is another option.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy that way back when in 1980, or whatever the book was written, but 1982 when the movie came out, that because there was not like it is today with mental health and PTSD and stuff like that.
Right.
So he had the foresight to see that. I mean, that's amazing.
I was just going to say that, and that's a great point that you bring up. And put the Rocky movies over here to the left for just a second. Where they all have an uplifting, powerful message to them. And you don't have to dig very deep to see them or hear them.
Right.
Where with the Rocky movies, it just he brings these situations to the forefront that are right there. Some of them are not, like you just said, the PTSDs and all this stuff were never talked about.
No,
but yet he's ahead of the game.
Yeah,
he's always like 1, 5, 10 steps ahead of them all.
No, I mean back in the 70s, 80s, they even 90s. I don't think that mental health, in general,
right,
never mind for our veterans, was a subject. It might have been the 2000s where it started really gaining steam. But yeah, they weren't talked about. That wasn't discussed.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right though. How he sees in the future, like we can't let them see this guy just take his own life. It's defeating the purpose of what we're trying to do. Like, tell these guys like there is an alternative. There is a better way. You can be heard.
It's just amazing how he sees that maybe nobody else sees, almost like Nostradamus-esque,
Kind of. I mean, somebody was saying, he when we were talking to Bill Charnoff, he goes, he knows what the people want. It's just bizarre how he knows what the people want when they make the film. And he does, because he did that. I mean, think about the whole film itself. It's not even close to the other films.
Right.
First Blood, it could be its own movie with no sequels.
Absolutely.
And, it could be that's what it is. It's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
A veteran's going to find one of his buddies, finds out that he's passed from cancer, from, napalm, goes to this little town, just wants to get something to eat. He's treated like a vagrant. It's more I've always said it's more of a cerebral movie than an action movie, even though it does have a lot of action.
Right.
But the others are definitely, superhero, G.I. Joe, blow them up.
Yeah.
Movies. But it's funny on how it started was so different than how it went into.
Right. And were all very well aware of the amount of numerous injuries he received in making these movies.
Yeah.
The one falling off the cliff into the trees
He says the stream was real.
He broke a shoulder or a rib or something like, I mean, at his, I know I don't want to say like at his age, but we will talk about this at another time with the family Stallone, where he was on there, and he said it at other times is, I don't recommend doing your own stunts.
Right. Well, I mean, the legendary legends of Tom Cruise doing his own stunts. He's leaping motorcycles off of cliffs and learning how to fly an F-14 Tomcat. I mean, he goes over and above. Stallone goes over and above.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of guys that do it, for the integrity of the film, I want him
Right.
to see it's me. But like you said, there's certain times where you might be like, you know what? Let's let that guy in who's trained to do this. He's got all that padding on. He looks
Yeah.
good. Let's
Yeah.
let him get in there.
He's gonna bounce better than me.
Absolutely, especially older, especially when he got older.
Yeah. But
But
he's like he said in Balboa, I'm brittle.
yeah, right, exactly. But yeah, First Blood was definitely more of a, like I said, it could be its own movie and no sequels at all. There's so many good scenes in it, so many good lines in it it does have its share of action. Don't get
Oh
me
yeah.
wrong, but it's not like the others.
Right. And you got, Dennehy, Brian Dennehy.
I
And
love
then
him. He was
um
such a good actor.
yeah, rest in peace, Brian. And then who was you know what? I was thinking of this and I'm like, I gotta remember his name. He was the young cop. It was like his introduction into he's
Oh,
like
the redhead.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's
David Caruso.
I was gonna say very famous actor now.
Yeah, now, yeah. Then
Yeah,
he wasn't even known yet. But yeah,
yeah,
he's but yeah, I mean, didn't he was the only one in the sheriff's department that was like, come on, man, what are you doing to this guy? Don't you see
right,
that he's not all here? Like they
right.
just think he's crazy. They don't understand he's a killing machine. They
Hmm.
just think he's out of his mind. And
Absolutely.
that the cop with the big belly, shave him dry. He's
Yeah.
tough. He was pushing and pushing
Oh yeah.
and I mean, he did a great job to make you hate him. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. I don't know the actor's name, but you know what?
Neither. Yeah.
Kudos to you for making me want to kick your ass.
But they were, they all thought they were, oh, this guy, we got plenty of men to take him down. And,
Yes.
like Troutman says in the one scene when they got the tent up in the woods in the mountains, he's like, we're going to bring all our guys. Da, 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 da. He goes, if you're going to bring that many, don't forget one thing. A good supply of body bags.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, but he was right. This guy. It's on a different level. These guys are sheriffs in this little hokey town, and they're, the fence is broken by some kid is a crime that they have to solve. They're not used to this. They have no. When he finally said enough's enough, and he started taking people out, and he could have killed them.
Oh yeah.
He could have killed them all.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't.
Absolutely. Yeah. No doubt. He was just incredible. It was just incredible. And how many of us own the Rambo Army jacket? Or one like it.
You're right. Exactly.
And I'll share this with you. I shared this with you earlier, but out of my love and respect for Sly and everything Stallone, I went and made my own Rambo knife.
Look at that.
Out of they're called a bastard file. Okay, this part here. Yeah, it's hard. It says on here bastard file. Swear to God, I'm not lying. This was an actual file. Came down straight like this.
Right.
And you would file the horse's hooves with it, or machinery or whatever.
Put the shoe on.
Yeah. And I made this out of my love for everything Rambo, and
it's awesome. I can't believe you made it. I mean, that's amazing.
Thank you. And then a little inlay there says strength.
That's awesome.
For Sly and Rambo. And
oh man, what don't you make? That's what I asked you when you showed
a lot of money.
What don't you friggin' make?
I don't make a lot of money.
Yeah. You can join the club on that one, right? So, but yeah, that looks just like the First Blood knife there. And then 3 years later, in 1985, they released Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Right.
And that was that's when he started to become a little more of a video game, muscle-bound G.I. Joe with missile launchers and, But it's funny on how Sly always wrote and had it be where it applied to the times that they were in.
Sure.
So it was, he became, I mean, that was 1985. It was the middle of the Cold War. He became a poster child for the military, United States military.
Yeah.
President Reagan was. I love watching Rambo, and stuff like that. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But
And that's the one where he went back to Vietnam to find the MIAs.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, telling another story, that we're not going to give up on you.
Right.
That he went to try to find them. And that's when Troutman got him out, went to try to find them. But it was good.
And the introduction to another actor that we are very fond of. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Why? John Kreese.
Oh, John Kreese.
John Kreese from Cobra Kai.
That's right. That's right.
That's his real name. I'm. Oh my God.
Hold on. Martin Cove.
Thank you. Tony saved the day.
Martin Cove. Yeah. And again, playing a great bad guy.
Yeah.
Who you did the acting where you didn't like him.
Yep.
You weren't supposed to like him.
No.
I'm sure you've heard the story before. You ever hear the story about when they were filming down there, on how they went to a bar?
I did. I just heard that recently.
Cove was telling the story.
Yeah.
They all got into this big fist fight because people wanted to take pictures with Sly and stuff, and it got out of control. And he's like, "We're all over there hitting, fighting."
Yeah.
Big fist fight out down in wherever they were filming. I know it wasn't Vietnam, but
sure.
So he was telling that story fairly recently. I remember telling.
Yeah, Martin Cole. Yeah, and they said they actually sent him out body surfing to get him the heck out of the bar.
Yeah, to get him out. We can't have this guy get hurt. We want to work tomorrow.
And you think about it, I was like, dude, that's Rambo. He'll just he'll kill them all on the way out.
Exactly.
I think that the one picture I may have sent you could be from that movie.
Let me put this up here. So you go ahead and explain this yourself, since it's your photo. So we got this picture here. There you go.
So this is obviously it's Rambo, Special Stallone, and you can see that it was signed back in the early 80s, as you can see in pen. So this was a picture that was given to me from a very good friend and the Camilla's Parks and Rec director, who knew I was a huge Sly Stallone fan. And when he was a boy, he sent this picture was his. He sent it to the Sylvester Stallone fan club.
How cool is that?
And after a couple of months, it came back and Sly had signed it for him. And just before I was getting ready to retire, now his name, the Parks and Rec director, Eric Bacon, great friend. He was kind of like a co-boss to me when I was working. And he was, Rick, I was down in the basement and I was cleaning up some stuff and I was going through this bin and I found this picture and I'm like, I need you to have it. So Eric, thank you. It hangs very proudly on my wall.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So cool.
Yeah.
In pen. I love that.
In pen.
That's great. But yeah, that is from Rambo First Blood Part 2.
Okay.
Which was 1985.
I thought so.
Yeah. And then they dropped the First Blood moniker and they just went with Rambo. Rambo 3. He was shredded in this one.
Oh. And well, you know what? Let's back up a minute. When he was shooting Rocky 3, I remember the story that he was shooting Rocky 3, and was it Rambo or Rambo 2 at the time?
Well,
because his hair was significantly longer in 3.
Right, but Rambo, First Blood was made in 1982.
So
and Rocky 3 was made in 1982. So
he was shooting the two films at the same time, or approximately the same time.
Right. Because then you got Rambo First Blood Part 2 was 85. which was almost the exact same time Rocky 4 was being filmed. So he was doing First Blood and Rocky 3, Rambo 2 and Rocky 4.
Okay.
In 82 and in 85 respectively.
Yeah.
And then in Rambo 3, this one, that was 88.
Okay.
So that was a couple years after 4 and before 5.
Because I remember him saying in an interview when he was shooting Rocky 3 and whatever Rambo it was, Rambo 2 maybe, First Blood Part 2. He's like, sometimes he goes, I didn't know what the hell set I was on.
Well, think about it. He has both of them. He pretty much has no shirt on. He's just always,
yeah. Your wardrobe's pretty limited.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
Yeah.
The book, the Rambo 3 one. That was one that had that helicopter missile launcher thing that was there. That was kind of insane. That film. That was a little crazy.
That's the one that was in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Afghanistan and he had to rescue Troutman, remember?
Yes.
He had to rescue Troutman out there.
It's been a minute, but I did watch them recently. That
Yeah, I watched these 3 about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Because I knew we were doing this. And then the next one that's up was a longer stint. That was 88 that we just talked about. And then Rambo, and in some countries this was released as John Rambo.
Yes.
But this one here came out in 2008. So that's 20 years after this.
And funny enough, in the same time frame as Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, Balboa came out in 06. Balboa came out in 06. And this came out in 08. 06 was 16 years after Rocky 5, and this one was 20 after Rambo 3. Rambo 3. Yeah, Rambo 3. This one here I actually just watched like 3 days ago, and I forgot how extremely violent it is.
Yes, I was just gonna say to you.
I mean, I don't care. I'm not offended by it. I'm not squeamish.
No.
But man, in the first few films, if he was shooting somebody or bow and arrow shooting or cutting them, this one here, it's like boom, and arteries are spewing blood.
Right.
Heads coming off, exploding.
Yeah. Heads on posts.
It was crazy.
It was nuts. And again, that was something that was taking place in Burma, which, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm big on world politics, but I assume there was something going on at that point in time.
Again, like you, I'm not. I'm into politics in the way where if it's in my face because I need to know about it, I do. But I don't. I'm not into politics.
But that could have been anywhere with the atrocities that go on across the world.
I mean, there was plenty. He went there to save those. It was like a Christian ministry that was trying to give them health care and stuff, and that stuff happens all the time. But yeah, Burma is definitely not a place that you probably want to go.
But that was, I'll tell you, between First Blood and John Rambo. John Rambo, it's kind of like Rocky and Rocky Balboa.
All right. So what's so funny? You're calling. Was it released John Rambo by you?
No, but that's just how I know it.
Okay, because I mean, it's funny you said that because I didn't think it was released John Rambo in the United States.
It probably wasn't. It was probably just released Rambo, but I know it in my brain as
I know. I've seen that poster.
Yeah,
and it was for like Canada, and that's why I was asking you because you're pretty close to Canada. So I thought maybe it was released as John Rambo to you.
I can't. I can't say one way or the other. I just know that's how I know it in my brain.
But yeah, that one there, that was man, that was graphic.
That was an intense movie.
It's graphic.
Yeah. But it's funny because it's like I was just kind of touching on it. It's like, we grew up with Rocky, the original. And then there was First Blood, and those were like our loves, our favorites. And then Rocky Balboa and let's just say John Rambo come out, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it's just another. I don't know.
Well, I think about it. I mean, Rambo came out in 08 and First Blood came out in 82. So, I mean, that's 26 years after the film.
Yeah.
The book was written in 72. The book was written 10 years before the movie was made.
Yeah.
From what I understood, that thing got bounced around a lot from getting made to being shelved and getting made.
I heard
being
that.
shelved. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that was 08.
Do you think he was really playing around with those damn snakes?
I wouldn't put it past him. I honestly wouldn't. I mean, any normal person wouldn't, but he's definitely not normal. So,
yeah,
it would not surprise me.
I would hope there was a piece of glass or something there.
If he said he was really doing it, I would believe him. I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't. If he said, yeah, I was doing that, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take your word for it.
I believe you.
Yeah,
you could do that. I will not.
No.
Get a garter snake this big, I'm going to scream like a little girl.
And then there's another actor, and I have no idea what his name is, but he's in a lot of Sly's movies. He was
what did he play?
He was the Englishman who was the head of the team that was going in that the church had hired to go in to find the people who went in to teach or the healthcare. He was bald, and he's the one where Rambo held the bow and arrow or the arrow right to his face.
Oh, that was, and you know who that is? That's Graham McTavish. And you know who Graham McTavish is later on?
Well, I know he's in Creed.
Yep.
Is Ricky's manager.
The manager. Yep, that's exactly right. Graham McTavish. That's a name for you. There you go.
And it just goes. We've said this before. Like these actors and actresses kind of show up in Sly's movies. It's like, does he just go to his phone?
Like anything else, when you work with somebody and you get along, you like the job they do, and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, this guy, Graham McTavish, he'd be perfect for playing Ricky's man. Let's get him in here. Why wouldn't you want to work with people you've already worked with?
Sure.
If they worked out.
Right.
So do you remember, and I know you do, I'm just asking you this just out of courtesy. Do you remember the Rambo cartoon on Saturday mornings?
I do remember that.
I knew you remember. I was too old to I wasn't watching Saturday morning cartoons anymore. I was 20.
Tony.
I do remember it.
Tony, we're never too old to watch cartoons. Let me tell you something.
This is true, but most of the time, like Bugs Bunny and stuff.
If Super Friends comes on, the world comes to a stop.
That is true. But yeah, I really didn't watch it. But yeah, you had the Rambo Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah. I think it was
thinking how that would go over today. Huh?
Oh,
having a mercenary kill and blow up people to save other people.
Oh my god!
I would be lining up.
I was at this job today, and the little girl's watching, I don't know, some sing-song show on YouTube, and it had been playing for hours and hours, and I was like, G is for gray and da da da. And I look at the dad and I'm like, I'm telling you right now, if I go to bed tonight and I'm singing this goddamn song in my head, I'm coming down here and I'm gonna wake you up.
Like when my girls were little and they were playing with their toys, I played them. I had tea parties. I did the whole nine.
Sure.
But in the background was Bruce Springsteen and Bob Seger.
You've got to have some sanity, right?
Not even that. Right now to this day, my daughter has those albums in her room on her Spotify playlist. They're listening to, Bruce and Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks and whatnot.
You did something right, brother.
Disney movies. I couldn't have it all be that.
You did it right.
No, I had to.
Yep.
So anyway, let's get back on the John Jay Highway here. So, so let's see. We do this. I mean, so don't
Yeah.
act all surprised. All right.
Yeah.
So John Rambo or Rambo was 2008, and then 11 years later was Rambo: Last Blood,
I loved
which
this one.
came. You know what? I liked it a lot for a whole bunch of reasons. Just because of like he was all chill on his ranch, and
Yeah.
he was trying to deal. He was dealing with his demons, but he was doing all right. But I
Yeah.
more so like the storyline. I mean, having daughters myself, and seeing some of the crazy
Sure.
crap that could happen by just going out to the wrong club.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of cool in that manner to see. I made them both watch it. Like, you guys are watching this. Come up, come in the living room, sit down. We're watching Rambo. Why? I want to watch. Watch it. Pay attention to what the girls do, and don't do that.
That's right.
because
That's right.
I don't want to have to come and kill half a cartel and then just die
Right.
myself.
It's
So.
kind of like that Liam Neeson Taken series.
Oh, I made them watch that too.
That's
We
awesome.
watched that. We watched that over the holidays
Yeah.
because Sophia's going to Poland tomorrow,
Oh my God.
and so I said, "You got to watch." And of course, Gina's about to bust the gasket.
I'm sure.
So she's like, "Dad, please, you don't have to kill anybody." I'm like, "I don't want to." But
You didn't inject a tracker chip in her arm or something like that.
I wish. I was like, look, this thing's really tiny. You won't even feel it.
I know, it's just a small prick. It'll only hurt for a second.
Yeah, anyway,
but
so back
yeah.
on track. So
Yeah.
Last Blood, yeah, I thought Last Blood was outstanding. I liked it a lot. And now the movie's came out when 19, so that's 5 years ago already.
That's crazy.
5 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah. I saw that in the theaters and
Same.
I loved it. Now there were two different versions.
Mhm.
I don't want to say versions, but in the US there was one type of a version, and then in overseas. So did you see the one where it starts out with the rainstorm?
Okay, I did, but not in the theater. When I
Right.
saw it in the theater, the beginning storm scene and the ending of him on the porch, where again, guys, fast forward, turn it off. It's been 5 years. You should have watched it. Were different.
Right.
So in the theater, there was no storm scene.
Absolutely correct.
And in the theater, he was only sitting on the porch. He never left the
Rode
chair.
off. Right.
Right.
And there was one other part. There was one other part in there that
What
was
was that?
taken out. And that's when he was in the tunnels and he was having the flashbacks.
Right.
They were if I remember correctly, they were more intense
Okay.
in the not in the United States movie, but in the overseas version. The flashbacks were a lot more intense.
I saw it when it came on, when it was available to stream on
Yes.
TV. And that's when I saw the rainstorm. I actually didn't know what was going on. I thought the wrong movie was on.
I did too.
I pressed play, it's raining. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then of course the ending where he got on, you see him on the chair, but then you see him on the horse. And
yes,
I mean, I like the additions that were there. I think they should have been in the theatrical release.
Yeah, I do too. I do. I think they lended more because it's like, again, guys, if you haven't seen it, plug your ears.
Yeah.
That whole beginning scene was just amazing to me.
Yeah.
Where he's going in to save the family, and he's just kind of doing his thing, like you said. He's on the ranch, but he's helping out.
Yep.
I thought it was a great scene.
I agree.
And then in the United States version, they left him on the porch sitting in the rocking chair. You're like, okay, well, he's going to die there. But in the overseas version, he's riding away on the horse, and now we're hearing, I'm sure you've heard whispers of wanting to do another Rambo, but then I've heard, well, what's he going to fight?
Well, yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that too. It's, it's a little different than wanting another Rocky. I know that would be the first thing somebody would throw into our face. Well, you want him to say another Rocky? What else could he do? And partially they're right. I mean, partially they are correct because after Balboa, you thought it was over, and then and Creed came out, and it made sense what was happening in the storyline up to Creed 2. And then when Creed 2, he bows out and goes up to see the son. He definitely went out on top.
Yeah.
Where what else could he do? Us being the fans we are, you could film him reading the phone book for 2 hours and we'd go watch it.
Yeah.
But I do understand the people that would say, well, what else is there?
I think there's a lot more, actually.
You could.
I think there's more.
There's other stuff. No, you could. You're right.
I mean, with Rocky, he could. We have talked about this before. Where prequel movie. How about the whole Cobra Kai type esque?
Yeah.
Remember
there was talk about him being in Philly and trying to clean up the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there was one boxer who was young who's going to kind of take him under his wing. And so there was stuff that he could do. But Rambo wise, I don't know. I mean,
couldn't he go back as in the military as a trainer, something like that?
Well, I mean, he would be able to go back in the military. I mean, he's done. I mean, he's 70 years old, but he could be maybe his neighbor is having issues like he had or something, and he could kind of mentor him. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, not that he couldn't do it physically. I mean, you know how he is. You tell him, oh, you're too old, he's going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
But it's just...
He could be the head of another mercenary group,
Right. Kind of like an Expendables type thing.
Yeah. Again, we'll watch him read the Sunday paper. We don't care.
Well, the character has definitely been around for almost is it 40 years now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got
82. Well, not counting the book, because that's really not very fair to count the book. But going back to the First Blood, that's 42 years ago. Going back to 82. So, I mean, 42-year-old character of Rambo, 48-year-old character of Rocky. And they're stuff that legends are made of. They're not going anywhere.
No.
And that's why Sly, when he opened up the Sly Stallone Shop, one of the very first items that he had for sale was the John J. Rambo mugshot tee.
I got to get one of those shirts.
It has to be hands down their biggest seller of everything.
Yeah, I've got to.
I mean, that is where the only spot you can get the official one. There are some bogus replicas out there, so don't feed into the other people that want to steal the Rambo mugshot.
No,
image.
I want that one for sure.
But that's the only official one. And then, of course, they just kept upping the game after that. Our good friend John Rivoli got with them, and now they have. I don't know. I think I might get that one.
That is nice too.
The Rivoli one with the black one there with the mugshot. I mean, don't get me wrong. This one is really cool with the black and white. But I don't know. This one I like. That.
Yeah. That's a toss of the quarter.
Yeah,
flip of the quarter.
Have to be. Yeah, John did those there. The artwork for those.
Hey, we wear the same size. We'll buy both of them, and we'll just switch.
We just swap them off.
We'll just swap it back and forth.
John did the box for the Rambo action figure. John James Rambo.
That's amazing.
The thing looks so real. It really does. It looks unbelievable how close it looks to it. And they also have the only knife that I saw available was the Heart Stopper from Rambo Last Blood.
Okay.
Which was that was one of the cooler scenes when he rips his heart out.
Yeah. That was like jaw dropping, but the one where he has the guy in the pickup truck, right? And he sticks him in the shoulder, and then he reaches his thumb in there.
Oh, I love it.
He's cracking his collarbone. I am like sitting here. I'm just like, oh my God, I can feel that.
You know what it is too? The characters that he's going after, like they're so hateful. Like
Yeah,
you downright just hate these people. They have
absolutely.
no affect, nothing for human life. They're the worst of the worst. They're the devil on earth.
Hmm.
So you want to hurt them. You want to
Yeah.
see them do it.
I loved it when he's driving down the road and he goes boink and he drops the dude's head. I'm like, yes,
He's just bouncing around like a
yeah,
ball.
because
Crazy.
he deserved it.
Oh God, yeah.
He
I hated
deserved
that guy.
everything he had coming to
I
him.
hated that.
Yep.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was one of the better ones of the whole saga. I
Yeah.
really do. I mean, it was, the tunnel. And what was cool about it too is that he made it be for his age, where he wasn't being unrealistic
True.
and being like he was in Rambo 3 or something.
Right.
He was running around the tunnels. He was booby trapping, mental head games.
Hmm.
It was a lot of stuff like that where he was going after them and getting them.
Sure. Sure.
So it was appropriate. It was appropriate.
Yeah,
Pretty well.
definitely. It wasn't like he was trying to play past his, you know, you couldn't do that. But then again, he probably could have.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Every time you say to him, tell him he can't, he's going to prove you wrong. So don't even
Right.
bother saying it anymore.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's a good saga. Anybody that hasn't seen some of them, go watch them. If they haven't seen any of them, definitely go watch them. Um, you'd be surprised at some people that haven't seen some of these films that we consider like, how could you not see those films?
I know.
You know,
Well,
but
we have one avid watcher who will love this episode. You know who that is?
well, there's a couple of them that come to mind.
Well, Joanne.
I mean, Joanne's the first one I thought. Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say, Joanne's the
Because
first
she
one.
lives up in Hope. Or
Yeah. Or near
So
it. She
near
had
there, yeah.
all the. She went up there for Rambo Day, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joanne, this is for you, baby.
I wouldn't mind going up there and checking.
Oh, I would love to go up there, and they had the big wooden carving, the Rambo wooden carving statue.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks beautiful. I mean, obviously, it needs
I'll
to
bring
be.
my knife.
It needs to be summertime.
Yeah,
Definitely
no doubt. No doubt.
But
So
yeah, this was good, man. This was good. Good stuff. We have some other good episodes coming up. We got some Family Stallone stuff we're talking about. We have some other topics we're talking about. Like I said, we have some surprises that are going on. We have some live events coming up. We should do that next week. Just do a live show instead of doing our regular show.
oh yeah, we could do that.
Remember
Well, I have a question. I do have a kind of opinion poll type thing. I'm going to ask. I've been discussing this with Deb. My mind's almost 98% made up. I sent you a picture.
Okay. The one you just sent me?
Yes.
Okay. And
I'm thinking it's been a long time since I've had some new ink on the skin.
oh boy. That's where you're going with it. I was wondering where you're going with it.
Yeah.
Isn't that because didn't Rivoli draw that for the Drago?
I'm not sure. I
could have sworn he did. Now I got to look it up.
But I really like the picture. I like the pose. I like the muted colors on it.
You would do it exactly like this. See, now wait. Now you got to give me a second because I didn't know you were going to talk about this, so I didn't download it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't know you were going to. You got to warn me, man.
Oh, well, why would I do that?
You got to prep me for
the element of surprise.
I know. You think you think I would know that by now too. That's all right. That's all right. It won't take long at all, people.
I've shown up in all different kinds of masks and outfits, and you know what?
Yeah. Well, see that I'm used to. That I'm definitely used to. Okay, so hold on a second. So all right, I just did that, and I'm on Rivoli's page now. I could have sworn he did that with Rambo. Listen to me. With Drago. Yep, here it is. Okay, I knew it.
No kidding.
So here. Oh wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's different. He did this. Wait.
Oh yeah, okay,
So
okay, I
it's
see that. Yep.
similar, but it's not what you.
Maybe I should get a hold of John and see if he'll draw me up something
Oh, how cool would that be?
to put on. But
How cool would
here,
that be?
here's my poll or my opinion or my question is, you know, I know it's mine. It's going to be on me. But does anybody else have any other suggestions or ideas? Because it's going to go. I would roll this down, but I'm sure I'm covered in paint. So, because I've been painting all day, it's going to go
So where are
basically
you
in
gonna
here.
put it? You're gonna put it there? Oh my god!
Yeah, right in here.
See, brother, you and I have a lot in common. There's two things that I won't be doing. Tattoos, one of them. My friend. Tattoos and smoking cigars. That's all you, brother.
Well,
Oh, you. Okay, so here's what Rick is talking about. I finally have it uploaded in the shot. So
there we go. There we go.
You know, and it's
I think
a great shot. Like I remember seeing it in the picture though. I just got to find where I saw it. I could have sworn that was Rivoli, but you hit the nail.
I would like to know that if he did that, or if he would.
I could be wrong. Maybe I was just thinking of that pose that I just showed you because it's similar, but it's not exact. But no, you had a better idea was to ask him to draw you something up.
Yeah.
For the tattoo. That would be fun. I mean, that would just be the ultimate, I would think.
Right. Because there's going to be a time. See, this one here is going to be like a present to myself.
Okay.
And then eventually down the road, there's going to be one going right here.
Okay.
So maybe I'll hit John up. Maybe I'll do John's Rocky and Adrian love because it's right over the heart.
Ah, that would be cool. Or you could just do
that. Yeah.
Soulmates.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. That would be cool. That would be.
But if
cool.
anybody has any other suggestions or ideas or cool pictures that might fit in that area, send us some pictures.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We could talk about that next episode too. What tattoo? It's like the game Operation. What tattoo are we putting on Rick?
But I do like just it's kind of with the muted colors and all. I think it's really cool.
Oh no, it's fantastic. I mean, it's great, and I don't want to say it's easy because I'm not trying to imply that tattoo artists don't do what they do, but it seems like it would be easy for a tattoo artist to do that.
I would think so.
So, yeah, I don't know where I saw that. I know I keep popping it up there because I'm trying to remember. And it says Sly on his shorts, too. It doesn't even say Rocky.
Right.
It's really weird. I know I've seen the picture, though. I know.
Now I'm like at 99.9%. The more you put it up, the more I'm like, yep, that's it. But
that's it.
If somebody else has another idea, I'm willing to listen. I haven't found my guy yet, but to do it.
All right.
But
all right, guys. Well, you heard him. Send it in and give us some other suggestions we could talk about. Or else he's coming in. He'll make a bigger one too.
Or else I'll carve the turkey with it.
All right, brother. Another good week in the bag.
Yes.
Until next week. Same bad time.
Same bad channel.
There you go. I'll see you later.
See you, buddy.